welcome back, guys. I haven't done a vlog, I haven't done any YouTube thing in so long, but I'm here for you guys today. It is currently Thursday, I think the 7th of May, and I'm in my room. As you can see behind me, I'm in my room, and yeah, I just wanted to waffle, let everyone know that I'm still alive. I'm good, I'm doing fine. This is just a little diary entry for myself. As you can see, if you do pay attention to what I do be posting on my YouTube, I have been a bit AWOL for a while. I feel like life recently has just been whatever it has been. Like, I've just been taking it day by day, and I feel like that kind of attitude towards life for me recently, I don't know, man. I feel like there are times at which we feel like we want to be going through life head first, you know, everything in order, next step after next step after next step. And then there's also a point or a side of us that just wants to relax, wants to chill, wants to do nothing. And I don't know, I feel like my life recently has been very much on the lazier side. You know, I'll be real. I've been very much tired, laid back, chilling, and just relaxing. I feel like, yeah, man. There's just a lot of things that I need to do. A lot of things that I need to get in order. I feel like through this video, I just want to talk about, like, the things that I feel like we get wrong with ourselves, because we feel like if you have all the answers, because I have all the answers, guys. If you come to me and you ask me a question about your life, I'm sure I'll be able to just give you some sort of answer, some sort of guidance, you know what I mean? Because I've been through it all. That's not a flex, but it is to say that when you learn from experiences in life, it builds you into a better person, depending on the way of which you view that catastrophe, trauma, event, whatever it may be. And for me, I feel like I'm still, like, say this is about 0 100%, I say I'm like 50% loading of understanding the impacts and how to move forward in life because of the things that I've gone through. I just feel like one thing that's been hard for me is just the mental load of just things that I need to do. And that's one thing that I will say is, if you're at a point where life, you have quote unquote your shit in order, you know, be grateful for that, be accepting and be understanding that you're in a position. Because when I was on those, when I was in those positions, I was still looking for other things to see and to want and to hold it. That's another thing. Gratitude, I think, is very important. Being grateful of the moment that you are within, because I feel like, yeah, like I was saying, it gets to a point where you don't appreciate what you have right in front of you, and then all you see in front of you is just your hands and emptiness, rather than looking in your hands, seeing the emptiness, but seeing that there are things that you can put within your hands that, like, do you get what I'm saying? Basically, having the perspective that there's nothing to be appreciated, there's nothing to be accepting of that you have. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, basically, just waffle. But yeah, man, life has been very wishy-washy. I feel like I've just been very much in a state of thinking. I feel like there's different points in life that I've been through. You know, there was points in life which I was very much in the moment, you know, experiencing everything, you know, just living. You know, my hand's a bit cooked, don't worry. But yeah, living in the moment, experiencing everything, you know. And then there's periods in life in which you're in reflection, which you're seeing everything for what it is, understanding everything for what it is, and, you know, reflecting on those times in which you was very much in that moment, and seeing, okay, that still is me, my purest form, when I'm not really thinking about the consequences, I'm not really thinking about what could happen, what did happen. But when you're out of that and you think about what did happen, it's just a way for you to, like, the way you see that is the way in which it will inhibit into who you are, in a sense. I feel like if you look at things and have a negative perspective of who you was in that moment, whether it be your fault or not your fault, you know, sometimes, like for me, for example, I've been in situations where I had no control over it, but I still put that burden on myself, making it seem like I was the one who was responsible for that other person's actions and what they did. But how am I the one to blame for someone else's head and their thinking when I'm in my own head and my own thinking? No one can manipulate my feelings or my thoughts, and I know that. So why are they all of a sudden different when we're all human, cut from the same cloth and same skin? I mean, there are different mental things that people go through and different emotional feelings, and you know, I think everyone's different at the end of the day. And I feel like you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, because there's always cases of people who are just, I don't want to say abnormal in the sense of abnormal, but I mean like abnormal in the sense of not the typical kind of person that you'd come across. So I feel like saying all men are trash or all women are trash, or saying all this, all that, when there's so many individual unique cases within each and every part of life which you can come across and find. That's why I feel like every single individual relationship and experience that you do go through in life is its own unique blueprint of which you look at how the foundation was set, how, you know, what materials you use, all of that, and you figure that specific thing on its own and refuse your mind's need to extrapolate that blueprint and apply it to someone else. This is another issue that I think sometimes I even get myself, everyone gets themselves caught up in it. I feel like comparison is the killer of joy. It's such a very commonly said thing. Comparison, as soon as you start comparing yourself and giving yourself and your authority of your level of wherever it may be confidence, it may be style, it may be, I don't know, lameness, I don't know, whatever it may be. As soon as you give yourself the ground to which someone else is able to be put above or below you or anything, that's you giving yourself a level. I believe that as humans, there is no level to which we can achieve or stoop low to, because I've been at the lowest of the lows and I've been able to bring myself back up, and I've been at the highest of the highs and I've been able to drop down. So it's really just a variable in which you allow yourself to be status, to be at, to improve, or do you know what I mean? Like, we're ever changing. Every day is another day to either become better or worse. I feel like I'm very much stagnant, I'm very much chilling, which is not really the best thing for me. Uni has been chopping my ass. I'll be so real. Uni is so hard, guys. Education. I've been in education for how many years of my life? I'm going insane. I need help. I need to get out. I need to escape. But yeah, inshallah. Yeah, another thing is praying. But anyways, let me stick on education for now. With education, one thing I would say is I love education in itself. I feel like it's such an interesting thing. The power of knowledge. Knowledge is power at the end of the day. However, I feel like the way society has structured education and how it kind of creates this idea of needing to, you know, keep like on a curriculum and like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's also because I'm not gonna lie, my mental is kind of cooked, and that's why sometimes I just like to vlog to see where my head's at, see how I'm feeling, see and look back in a few months from now and see the state of mind I was in the current moment. Like today, I'm gonna look back at this video, hopefully in the future, and see, okay, damn, Ruth was feeling like this, he was thinking this, and you know what I mean, and look in the future and see myself in the future and how I'm gonna be. And I really hope and pray, you know. You know, every day I do always tell myself I'm gonna try to work towards being a better person. You know, I just think it's, you know, sometimes it is very hard, mentally, emotionally, physically, especially with life. Everyone goes through shit in life, you know. And for me, I've been through shit, a lot of shit. I don't know, it's hard. I feel like I've processed it, but at the same time, there's never really a level of processing. I feel like you just learn to live with it, and I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, man. it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. I will never, ever, ever, ever tell anyone that this life understanding how you feel. This thing is easy. It's super hard, you know, and I give courage to those people who are able to like really flip their life around and like bust through things and go through things. People have said that to me, you know what I mean? And you know, alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for that. But you see, like I said, comparison, you know, I wish I could be, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the only thing I pray for is just to be the best version of myself that I can be, and to reach the limits at which, I mean, not reach the limits, to reach the potential of which I can reach, because there is no limits. The sky is the limit. The sky, it doesn't have limitations. I mean, I don't think so. But basically what I'm trying to say is just that let's just pray. Let's just continue 2026. We're in May right now, January, February, March, April, May. We're almost halfway through the year, you know. First start of the year has been, it's been interesting, you know. I've done a lot of interesting things, you know. I'm not gonna say it's all been shit. I feel like one main thing that a lot of people do tend to do in life is highlight the negative moments. And I feel like as much as we do go through negative things in life, I feel like there is some sort of merit to those negative moments in which we can see in ways which we can become better and thrive from those situations. So as much as life hasn't been positive, sunshine and rainbows, you know, maybe I haven't been, and I think something I need to work on is just being more accepting and appreciative of what I do have in front of me and loving of that. And you know, it has been hard, especially from, you know, feeling like the emotions of like, you know, certain things I don't have anymore, certain things I don't feel anymore, certain things, you know, have changed, and it causes me to feel a bit more disheartened, or like less motivated, or less, you know, have that oomph, that drive that I usually tend to have. But I feel like it's all part of life. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of growing, you know. I feel like there's a quote that is said in the Quran, says, Allah does never burden a soul with what he cannot bear. And I always will remember that, because I feel like everything that we go through has a purpose, has a meaning. Life isn't coincidental. Everything does go through with emotions after emotions for a reason. When you sit back and you look at your life and think about certain memories, certain things that may have happened, it all has happened to build you into the person that you are now. Think of certain traits that you have, think of certain, you know, feelings and emotions you have when certain events happen, and then track back to the last time that you had that feeling and the last moment that you had those emotions, and you'll understand like it's kind of building me into the person that I am, you know, reinforcing these behaviors, these ideas, these feelings, these values, morals, all of these things. That all happens based on experience, and whether that experience is positive or negative, it doesn't shape the reality that you have. So many good things happen to good people, but that doesn't mean that they are appreciative of those good things that they have. You see a lot of rich, famous people not really happy and content and always wanting more. And you know, I feel like for me, for myself, I want to get to a point where I'm rich and I'm happy and da da da. But if I don't appreciate what I have now, who am I to say that I will appreciate what I have then? If I have an abundance and I'm out where I want to be, but I'm not appreciative of what I have, then how am I going to be a person who doesn't want to be more greedy and want more and more and more? So that's why we have to learn the level at which we are at now, be comfortable with that, learn ourselves, know ourselves, and then from there have the humility to slowly build and take each step at a time. I feel like that's definitely one thing I need to do, create a routine, you know. I feel like routine is one of the hardest things. I feel like my brain is always working. You see how I'm rambling non-stop constantly. It's just like my brain just is always running, you know. I feel like that's such a beneficial thing sometimes, you know, to be able to have a mind that's always wanting to work, to do things and put things together. But with no direction, it's just chaos. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, especially recently, my life has just been a bit all over the place. And it's not to say that I'm not aware of that. I am aware of that, and I know there's so much ways in which I could do better. You can do better as well. All of us can do better. All of us want to. Our innate drive is to be someone to improve and to be better. I mean, not everyone, but for me, I have a drive. And I'm gonna go out and get it, inshallah, you know. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, if you see this video, if you've watched to the end, I mean, if you didn't, you didn't. If you did, you did. But yeah, drive, passion, goals, direction, stay focused. Generally, stay focused. You know, it's okay to not stay focused all the time. I'm not focused all the time. None of us are always locked in, you know, fully fledged into what we're doing. You know, I feel like that's another thing. Just the idea of everyone being locked in is so fake. You know, social media, all of these things. That's why I don't have social media. But still, addiction. I have a very addictive personality. I'm gonna be aware. I'm gonna be so real. I have a very addictive personality. I do have a few addictions here and there. I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be honest. I know that with these addictions, addictive personality, okay, I need to make a whole nother video on that. I'll probably make a whole nother video on that. But yeah, I'll end this here. But stay focused.